Waiting for the Toronto housing market to bottom out is not a strategy. It's a very expensive hobby. And while you've been sitting on the sidelines waiting to look smart, the math has been quietly working against you every single month. As a sales representative at Intercity Realty, I talk to buyers every week across Vaughan and the GTA who have been almost ready to buy for 3 years. 3 years! In this video, I want to give you the actual math of missing out and a framework that changes how you look at it. Let me show you what happens when people treat houses like stocks. 2021, Zillow, billion-dollar company, economists, algorithms, supercomputers, all of it, decided they were going to time the housing market. They bought thousands of homes to flip them for a profit, repeat, repeat, repeat. Then the market shifted. Here's the problem. You can't live inside an algorithm. The second the speculation stopped working, the whole thing collapsed. $500 million gone. It takes a staggering amount of computing power to lose $500 million. That's what happens when you buy a house to beat the market instead of to live in it. If Zillow's billion-dollar algorithm couldn't time the market, then Dave, who's been watching real estate YouTube market updates from his rental in Scarborough, Dave's not going to crack the code either. Once upon a time, there was a couple in North York, both professionals, combined income around $160,000. They had $60,000 saved for a down payment. Their financial situation was genuinely solid. In 2021, they decided to wait. The market felt overheated. Prices looked irrational. Here's the thing, they were right. Prices in their target area did correct. They're still renting. Why? Because the second prices dropped, rates went up. That means the monthly carrying costs on the same house actually increased, even after the price correction came through. They made the correct market call. They predicted the dip, and their situation is worse than if they just bought. 3 years later, they've paid their landlord over $75,000, and their down payment has been sitting in a savings account, quietly losing purchasing power. You can be right about the market and still lose the game. That's the part nobody ever puts in a headline. And notice what actually hurt them. It wasn't the market. The market did exactly what they said it would. It was the game they were playing. Prediction. Prediction has no finish line. There's always another dip to wait for. The people who won weren't smarter. They just switched to a game you can actually win. Let me show you what this looks like with some real numbers. You're watching an $800,000 starter townhome in Vaughan. That's $80,000 off the price. Looks smart on paper. Now let's count what you're spending while you wait. You're renting. $2,500 a month is a reasonable estimate for somewhere in Vaughan right now. That's $30,000 a year going to your landlord. 2 years of waiting for that correction? That's $60,000 handed to someone else's mortgage. You needed that $80,000 price correction just to come close to breaking even on 2 years of waiting. That's before you count the principal you would have been paying down on your own property. Before your down payment bleeds purchasing power sitting in a savings account. The house does not have to go up for you to lose. You lose just by standing still. Look, if you're genuinely not ready to buy, that's fine. I can help you find a rental that fits your budget. The landlord pays my commission on that. If you rent, I still eat. So if you can't time it, Zillow's supercomputers couldn't, and waiting bleeds you 30 grand a year anyway, you've got one move left. Stop trying to outsmart the market. Make sure it can't outlast you. It's 1958. Warren Buffett buys a 5-bedroom house in Omaha for, get this, $31,500. He's not trying to call a market top. He's not running a 10-year appreciation model. One question, can I comfortably afford this payment no matter what the economy does? Yes, he buys it. 1970s inflation crisis, his costs are fixed, doesn't care. 1980s interest rate spikes, fixed, doesn't care. 2008 crash, fixed, doesn't care. He still lives in that house today. The most successful investor alive treats his home like a practical tool, not a speculation vehicle. He's worth over $100 billion and he's still eating Dairy Queen in a kitchen that probably hasn't been updated since before most of you watching this were born. Now bring it back to Vaughan. Think about the guy who bought an average townhouse in Weston Downs back in 2017. Not thinking about CMHC projections, not monitoring bond yields, just needing something that fit his dog, his work from home setup. Prices wobbled right after he bought, he just lived there. 7 years later, significant principal paid down. No surprise rent hikes, not a single letter from a landlord who decided to sell the building. The boring, unsexy, unoptimized decision won. I already know someone's in the comments typing, Nicholas, Ellen DeGeneres makes millions flipping luxury estates in Montecito in under 2 years. Yeah, she does. You have Hollywood capital, a full design team, and the liquidity to absorb $50,000 in land transfer taxes without bullying your interns. Go for it. But you and I are not playing that game. I'm out here filming this on a selfie stick. So what is our game? It's a simple decision rule I call the 7-year survival test. Why 7? It's roughly the round trip. Land transfer tax going in, twice as much if you're in Toronto proper, 5% commission going out. It takes about 7 years of principal pay down before the math forgives you. Sell before that, and the market doesn't even have to drop for you to lose. Here's the part that applies to you and not to Buffett. Your rate isn't fixed for 30 years. You renew at least once inside that window, at whatever rates are doing then. So the test already assumes your renewal is ugly. That's the whole point. It's built to survive the thing you can't predict. Stop looking at the market blips and asking if we've hit the bottom. Instead, you walk into a showing and you ask yourself 3 binary questions. Can I comfortably carry this payment on my current income? If life gets messy or my career shifts, can I outlast a down market here for 7 years? Is my life stable enough right now that I won't be forced to sell and absorb the transaction costs early? And that changes every single question you ask when you're considering a property. Stop worrying about, is this the bottom? Start asking, can I live my life here? Stop asking, what will this be worth in 2027? Start asking, can my life survive this decision if nothing else goes my way? Here's the trade-off though. A 7-year horizon can protect you from volatility, but it only works if your life is stable enough to hold that long. If you might move because you got a better job, lose income because you fell off a roof doing the Christmas lights, or need flexibility, buying early can become the expensive choice. The buyers who win in this market aren't geniuses. They don't predict the future. They don't have insider information. They just stop making 30-year decisions on a 2-year timeline. And if you're in Toronto, Vaughan, or anywhere in the GTA and you want a realtor who's not just force-feeding you market statistics, book a 15-minute call. Links in the description. Stop trying to predict reality. Make sure you can survive it.